Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Ade Dwi Putra Janata. I'm from Yogyakarta State University. In this section, I will try to explain and present the article, my article under the title Analysis of Preliminary Creative and Critical Thinking on Entrepreneurial Attitudes and Behavior Topic in Industrial Mechanical Engineering class at SMKN 01 Pariaman. Introduction. Okay, the introduction. Advance in technology and science requiring various skills as for the life challenge. The life challenge skills that needed in 21st century, one of them is creative and critical thinking skill. Let's start from the creative thinking skill. Why the world need creative thinking skill? Because the creative thinking skill can train students to develop lots of idea and agreement. For each indicator there are fluency, originality, elaboration, flexibility, and metaphor thinking. And then for the critical thinking skill, why the world need critical thinking skill? This is because the critical thinking skill are important skill for problem solving, investigation, and discovery. For each indicator of the critical thinking, there are focus, supporting reason and reasoning, organization, convention, and integration. Next, based on the World Economic Forum and OECD report, the skill needed in 2015, 2020, 2025, and 2030. The skill that needed are still oriented towards creative and critical thinking skill. And then the World Economic Forum also predict more than 7 million jobs will be lost and 2 million new jobs will emerge by 2025. Existing employment opportunity have shifted to automation and digitalization. So this is one of the challenges in the future for 2025 for our students, especially for the vocational education, to make a qualified and graduate output. So the position of critical and creative thinking skill is the challenge that faces by vocational high school. So to make in this study, I try to get the critical thinking and creative thinking skill of the student by given essay question that have been empirically and logically validated so that they are feasible to use. Based on the introduction, the study aims is to describe the preliminary analysis of the creative and critical thinking skill of students who have studied creative product and entrepreneur subjects in entrepreneurial attitude and behavior topic at SMK Negeri 1 Pariaman. Next, for the method, this type of research is descriptive quantitative. The aims to describe the preliminary condition of critical and creative thinking skill of the student. And then the creative and critical thinking question get a validity value of 0.70 in the high category and also in reliability in the high category. So the questions are suitable for use for preliminary test. The question have passed the feasibility test on 150 students of SMKN 1 Pariaman who have not studied entrepreneurship subject on entrepreneurial attitude and behavior topic at random. Next, for the analysis of critical and creative thinking skill was carried out by giving a written essay test as I explained in the introduction. Now, and then this is the result and discussion. First, the creative thinking skill. Descriptive statistic of the creative thinking skill. Based on the analysis, we can see in the table that every student were in 40 students only get the maximum score up to 68, and then the minimum score for every all of the students obtain 20 score. And average score for every student is only up to 50. See this for the creative thinking skill, there are fluency, originality, and also the other mathematical thinking. We can see that there are score 1 and 2, and then score 3 and score 4. The meaning is score 1 and 2 the basic skills, and then this 3 and 4 is the advanced skill of the creative thinking skill. Every indicator for the score 1, 2, 3, and 4 have a different description. I will give the example. 1, namely stating idea, suggestion, or alternative answer. And then score 2, namely mentioning several idea or alternative answer that are not always different. So this is the score 1, score 2 have a description. If the answer of the student match to the score 1, so they got score 1. If the answer is matched to score 2, they will got score 2. And also every 4 indicators, score 1, 2, 3, and 4, have a different description. And every description I have explained on my article. And for the per indicator, creative thinking skill was adapted by Trefinger 2003. Okay. Next, for the result in this question is for the all of score 1, 2, and score 3 and 4. As I said before, score 1 and score 2 means the basic skill of the creative thinking skill, and score 3 and 4 means the advanced skill of the creative thinking skill. Average for the score 1 and 2 of the student got the percentage is 51%, and score 3 and 4 get 49% for every student. This is the average of the skill for every score. For the critical thinking skill, this is the descriptive statistic critical thinking skill. We can see from the table that the maximum score the student can achieve only 64, and the minimum score is 36. And the average score from the student of the critical thinking skill only up to 49.2. Next, for per indicator, we can see from the table, as I also tell in the creative thinking, also there score 1, score 2, and score 3, and score 4, which is score 1 and score 2 for every indicator have a different description. The average of the score for each indicator, for all indicators, we can see that score 1 and score 2 only reach 51%, and score 3 and 4 only 49%. Next, the last, the conclusion. First, the creative thinking skill of student was still low, with an average of 50. The maximum score that student achieved was only up to 68, while the minimum score obtained was 20. For the critical thinking skill of students are still low, also low, with an average of 49.2. The maximum score achieved by student is only up to 64, while the minimum value obtained is 36. The score creative and critical thinking still doesn't meet the minimum standard score that have been determined by the school, which is 75. And the last, overall student creative and critical thinking skill for all critical and creative thinking indicator, each of which obtain 50% of students who get a score 1 and 2, while 49 of students get a score of 3 and 4. This means that from this descriptive analysis, we know that an effort is also needed to be able to improve student creative thinking and critical thinking skill, be it through learning method or improving the learning media or the teaching materials. Okay, thank you very much for the attention. That's is